Hello, thank you for joining me, Angela Harders, for today's tutorial. All right, today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite time-saving tools, and that is something that all of us teachers have if we have access to Canvas, and that is Canvas quizzes. Canvas quizzes are literally the biggest game changer in being an online teacher. By using Canvas quizzes, you are going to be able to save so much time, energy, effort, not only for yourself, but also for your students too, because Canvas quizzes can virtually eliminate almost all of the grading that we have to do as teachers. Almost all of it. All right, today I'm going to walk you through and show you step by step how to create a Canvas quiz, a basic Canvas quiz, so that you can get started creating your own Canvas quizzes and you will not have to grade anymore. All right, let's go. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to modules. There are a lot of different ways that you can start creating a Canvas quiz, but I like to do it just directly in the modules. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to create your module. If you don't have any modules here already, you'll click this Create a Module button. And so I'll go ahead and do that. Create a module, we'll do it lesson 2. Okay, in my module, I'm going to click this little plus button here. And instead of adding an assignment, I'm going to change this to say quiz. All right, and then here I'm going to click where it says create quiz. Now in Canvas, they have two different options. You can do classic quizzes or you can do new quizzes. I would encourage you to play around with both of the different quizzes options just so you can kind of see what's available, because they do have some key differences. But since most people, some people don't have new quizzes available to them, so I'm going to go ahead and do this tutorial using the classic quizzes in Canvas. All right, so I'm going to click on classic quizzes and we'll give this a name. Canvas tutorial. All right. You can go ahead and change whatever category you want this to be in. So we'll make this a formative assessment. And I usually don't change the indentation. All right. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and click Add Item. And you can see my Canvas tutorial quiz has appeared here. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click on this Canvas tutorial. And you can see some of the information that we put is already in here. It has the title up here at the top, and it also has our category changed here to formative assessment, but we're going to go in and change some of these other things. So to edit the quiz, you simply click on the edit button in the top right-hand corner. Then, this is where you'll put your Canvas instructions. So you can type in here, answer the questions based on the reading or something. Another really cool feature of this is that you can actually include videos in your Canvas quizzes. So for example, if I wanted to include a YouTube video, I personally like to pre-record my videos, my lessons. And so I actually have all of my Spanish lessons on YouTube. And so I'm going to go ahead and open up, this is a lesson that I created on preterite verbs in Spanish. And I'll go ahead and click share. And then when you click on this embed thing here, it will give you the embed code. Click on it. And then you click copy. And then you can come back to Canvas again. Then we're going to click insert and embed. Now I can paste the embed code right here and then click submit. What this does is this will put the video, so the lesson portion of my lesson, inside the instructions here. So they're able to watch the video and they can reference the video if they have any questions or if they want to go back to something that I had taught them, in this lesson in particular, they can have access to see the video here. All right. And we're going to keep going down. If this is a multiple choice test, you can click here to shuffle the answers, so that will mix up all the answers for you. One of the other features that I really like about Canvas quizzes is that you can actually set a time limit. So this is something that I like to do for my students because it helps them to really stay on track and stay focused. So most of the time I'll set a time limit of 20 minutes. The other really cool feature about this is that for students that have accommodations, you can actually adjust their time limit so that they're able to get time and a half or double their time based on whatever their IEP states. So this is another way that you can make sure that we are in compliance with a student that has an IEP. All right, so I like to set the time limit. This helps students to stay focused for that 20-minute time period, and it also helps them with their time management while they're in class. The other feature that I love about Canvas quizzes is the fact that we can allow our students to have multiple attempts. Gone are the days where students would just take a quiz one time and then forget about it. No, now our focus is on mastery. And in order for students to master the content, they need to do it more than one time. Sometimes they don't get it the first time around. And so giving our students the opportunity to try things multiple times is really important for them. So for me personally, I give my students unlimited opportunities to try their formative assessments. But if you don't like giving them unlimited opportunities, you can change that. And you can click here where it says allowed attempts. And you can decide how many extra attempts that you want to give them. I know a lot of teachers will give 2 or 3 attempts. But like I said, for me, I like to give my students as many opportunities to try again as they need to in order to get the grade that they want and in order to really make sure that they're mastering the content. All right. This is the other part that's really important. If you are going to allow your students to have more than one attempt on a quiz, then you need to make sure that you uncheck this button here because that will let the students see the correct answers once they're done. We don't want them to see the correct answers when they're done, so I uncheck that. All right? But I do leave this one checked because this will let the students see the questions that they got wrong. And I think it's important for them to be able to see what they got wrong so that they know what to improve on the second time or third time around. All right? This is another option that Canvas Quizzes provides you with, and that is to show one question at a time. A lot of times I notice that math teachers in particular really like this option because then students are just focusing on one question at a time and it doesn't feel so overwhelming for them to see a whole bunch of questions or a super really long quiz. So sometimes one question at a time can be helpful. I like to see all of the questions at once. That's just me. So I normally leave this one unchecked. All right. Some other options, you can require an access code. So this is like a password that you will give your students in order for them to be able to access that quiz. This is really important if you want to make sure, let's say you're doing a final exam and you want to make sure that they're doing the quiz during class and that they're not able to access it at home. So you can give them the access code during class, and then after class you can change it so that they're not able to access that quiz unless you give them the access code so that you can do it whenever they're present. All right, and then of course we want to pick a due date. The due date is really important because one of the nice features about this too is that once the due date passes, we can set our gradebook so it will automatically give students a 0% if they have not completed the quiz by that due date. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this as it is just because I want to make sure all of this part is saved. And then I'm going to go back in and add the questions. All right, so now to add in the questions, I'm going to click this edit button again. And there's a tab up here right at the top that says questions. So I'll go ahead and click on the questions, and then I can click new question. What I encourage teachers to do when they're considering or working on creating their very first Canvas quiz, I try to tell you to find a worksheet that you have, whether that be in Google Docs, Google Sheets, maybe a PDF, or maybe even a hard copy. So find any worksheet that you would give a student in class, any assignment that you would give them in class, and virtually almost any assignment that you could give to a student in class, you can give it to them as a Canvas quiz. All right. So we want to take what you already have and turn it into a Canvas quiz. Now, this is going to be a little bit of work up front, as I mentioned, because it takes time to enter in all of the questions, all of the answer choices, all of these different little details. It takes time to create the quiz. But I promise you, you're going to save so much time in the long run because you're not going to have to grade any of them. All right. So if you click up here, next to this drop down, these are all of the different possible options that you have for different types of questions that you can create in Canvas quizzes. You can have multiple choice questions, true, false, fill in the blank, fill in multiple blanks, multiple answers, multiple drop downs, matching, numerical answers, formula questions. These two are really great for math, essay questions, file upload questions, and text, where there's no question there, you're just providing the text. All right, let's take a look at some of these. Multiple choice is probably one of the most common, so we'll go ahead and look at that. Here, you're going to go ahead and type your question. What types of questions are available in Canvas quizzes? And down here, you're going to put your answer. So let's say multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, or all of the above. All right. I'm going to go ahead. Right now, this says that this is the correct answer, but I have to change this because the correct answer is all of the above. So to do that, you just click on the green arrow and it will change what the correct answer is. And then when you're done, you can just click update the question. All right. So now we have our first question. If you would like to see what the answer is, you can click here where it says show question details, and it will show you the possible answer choices as well as the correct answer. All right, now let's create a new question. Let's say instead of just multiple choice, we want to create something that has multiple possible answers. So that would be multiple answers. What type of questions are available in Canvas quizzes? I'm going to ask the exact same question as before, but now we're going to have multiple different answers. I'm going to say select 3. All right, so we have multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, and think of one that's not actually there, color, or draw your answer. Okay, so that one isn't available yet. Maybe they'll invent that one day. All right, so in order to select multiple answers that are true, we just click that green arrow next to each answer that is correct. All right, and that's it. Now let's say because this one has 3 correct answers, I want this question to be worth more points. So in order to change the point value, I just come up here and instead of 1 point, I'm going to make this 3 points. So that way students can get 1 point for each answer that they get correct. The nice thing about this Canvas quizzes is that it actually will give students partial credit. So if a student only picks 2 of these and misses the 3rd one, they'll still get 2 out of the 3 possible points. All right, and then we click Update Question. One of my favorite ways to use Canvas quizzes requires students to think a little bit more difficult. All right, we know that a lot of times multiple choice questions or true-false questions don't really require our students to have a lot of critical thinking. Now, of course, it depends on what we're asking and how we're asking it, but I think one of the most valuable parts of using Canvas quizzes is giving students a space to be able to answer questions on their own. So one of the ways that I do that is with fill in the blanks. Now, what I like to do is instead of using the fill in the blank option, I actually always click the fill in multiple blanks option. And I'm going to show you how to use that now. Okay. So let me think of a fill in multiple blanks option. Okay, so I'm a Spanish teacher and I like to use this to help students with conjugating verbs. So let's say they have to conjugate this verb. And the way that you create the blank is by using a square bracket. So I'm going to put a square bracket and I want to actually have the verb in parentheses. So yo como. So the answer is como and the verb is comer. And so I eat pizza, yo como pizza, and the verb in parentheses is comer there, so students know which verb they're conjugating. All right. Down here at the bottom, you'll see that it has this little drop down here. Okay, so I'm going to type in what the correct answer is. Since there is only one correct answer in this case, I'm actually going to X out this one. Okay, so I only have one right answer. Now, if I wanted to add in a second possible one, we'll say, you eat, tú comes. Okay, you eat hamburgers. In order to see this second one here, I can click on the drop down and I can see this is the second blank, comes, and I'm going to type the answer in there as well. I don't have any other possible answers, so I'm going to delete that one. Okay, and because this one has two answers in here, I'm going to change this to, so it'll be 2 points. And update the question. Okay, just to give you an idea of what it looks like to have some of these other ones, an essay question. Tell me how you will use Canvas quizzes in your class. All right, so this is where you provide a question, and then this will give students kind of a paragraph box where they'll type in their answer. And you can write whatever requirements that you would have for that written answer. Okay. Another one that I really like too is the Dropdowns. All right, so if I were to use this, a lot of times I use this, and this is going to be used in the same way as the fill in the blanks. So you notice that I put the answer into the square bracket, so a beginning square bracket and an ending square bracket. So come huevos. So Angela eats eggs. All right. And with this one, we actually do have to have other answers because this is going to be a drop down option for them. So we'll put como, comes, come, comemos, and comen. So the correct answer for this, Angela eats, would be come, and so that would be the correct answer. And I make sure that I click that there. All right, then update the question. Once you're done and you've filled in all of the other questions, all you have to do is click Save. And if you want to see what this quiz will look like for your students, you can click right here where it says Preview. Okay, so this is what our quiz will look like. You notice multiple choice has the circles here. The second one that we did where you could pick multiple answers, that one has the little squares. This is what our fill in the blank looks like, so students actually have to type in a correct answer. This is great for vocabulary, different things like that. And here's our essay question, where students are able to click here and they can type in their answer. All right, this is an example of the drop-down menu. So they click there, and then students can pick whatever they think is the correct answer. These are probably some of the most common different ways that you can use Canvas quizzes. The nice thing about this is that every single one of these answer choices would be able to be automatically graded with the exception of the essay. So this is the only type of question, and the file upload questions, those are the only two that you have to manually grade. So the essay and file uploads you have to manually grade, but everything else can be automatically graded. All right. And that's it. So this is kind of the tutorial for using Canvas quizzes. Will literally save you so much time when it comes to grading, because you will not have to grade the majority of the things that we're assigning to students. You won't have to grade them anymore because Canvas will automatically grade it for you. All right. Let me go here real quick. Once you have Canvas quizzes in here, one of the things that you can do is actually change your settings so that assignments are automatically graded and they're automatically given a 0. So one of the ways that you do that is you click Go to Grades, and then you click on the Settings tool here. All right. And then for the late policy, I always click this, automatically apply a grade for missing submissions, and I automatically have it apply to be a 0. Okay, so that way, if a student doesn't turn in an assignment by the deadline, it will automatically become a 0, and it will automatically be marked as missing in Canvas. Canvas has so many awesome tools for us to be able to use, and I'm really, really excited to see and hear about how you use Canvas quizzes in your classroom and how much time and energy and effort this helps to save you, and how much it increases student engagement because they're able to do this over and over and over and have that immediate feedback with an immediate grade as soon as they need to. All right? If you have any additional questions about Canvas quizzes or would like more support, please be sure to check out the other videos that I will be making in the future, or feel free to reach out to me via email at aharders@proxlearn.com. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a great day.